You can't make this up. What up, YouTube? Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. You cannot make this up with what's going on in Minnesota. This is shameful. They have showed that they have arrested. Hey Mason, hi sweetie. They have arrested pedos. They have arrested murderers. They have arrested fraud. They have arrested so much. And they out there in Minnesota acting a damn fool. It's shameful. It really is. So an FBI agent resigns after trying to investigate the ICE officer Renee Goodthing. So he resigned. But they probably told him they had that and he didn't like it, so he resigned. Told him to back off. So as of today, Minnesota got 10,000 people out there protesting ICE. Well, my thing is, if you want to take care of the illegals, put them in your house. You pay for their health care, you pay for their food. You do that shit on your own, not with my money. Against federal immigration action, severe winter weather, they just out there and the implementation of new state laws. And the fact that our own people is out there is shameful to me. We ain't got nothing to do with this. This the first time in history that they ain't looking for us to arrest and harass.
You was right.
What?
BMW ain't even want to start up. It's like it said one
I
degree.
know, and let it run for about 10 minutes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the first time in history that a black folk can breathe. You understand what I'm saying? That you can breathe because they ain't looking for you. Unless you out there protesting with them, just like the two hussies got arrested for going in that church. This ain't our fight. Sit down. I gotta keep checking my phone. I ordered DoorDash. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Damn. And we ain't helping y'all. I know I'm not. So they got 10,000 people out there now. And they got it called the Day of Truth and Freedom to protest federal ICE. And since when do you have the right to attack a federal agent? That's ultimate. That's time. Y'all want to go to jail. Y'all want to go to prison. That's time. And you damn sure we can't do it because we damn sure gonna get some time for attacking an ICE agent. They still a federal government worker. Then they got that false narrative out there about the 5-year old boy was detained. No, they was arresting the daddy. He ran in the house and left his child out there. ICE would not open, the mother wouldn't even open up the door to get her baby. So they took the boy to McDonald's. What the fuck else they gonna do with that? What the fuck is going on here? These Is it because they vaccinated or something? Maybe that's it. Maybe they took that jab and they done lost their mind. Maybe that, or did they spray something in the air? What was that movie? Remember that movie, The King's Men? And you know there's a part with this 5G, they can change the frequency. And they were all in the church, then all of a sudden they changed that frequency and everybody started killing each other. Is that what's going on? They changing the free. What is going on? Then they protesting about the new paid leave. As of January 1st, the Minnesota paid leave program has taken effect, providing paid time off for employees across. Well, that's a good damn thing, right? Law enforcement reported 2,100 DWI arrests during the recent holiday. I mean, what the fuck? Nora, you want to be a mod too? I'm on stream out. I gotta figure out how to do this shit. Hold on, cause I just made Mason a mod. Now let me see. How did I make Mason a mod? Let me see. Damn, I forgot how I made Mason a mod. Let me see if I click on shit. How did I make you a mod, Mason? Hey, Spider. I'm trying to figure out how I made Mason. Did I click on your name? I made Mason one on here. It's because I'm on StreamYard. I'm not on my phone. Let me see, Nora. I'll figure it out, shit. Cause I made him one the other day. Shit, I don't remember, Nora. Shit, my ass old. Let me see. Delete comment. Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to make you a mod. Okay, let me see. I ain't mean to pin the damn comment. No. Shit. I went to settings. That's what I did. Okay. Okay. Maybe I did general. Oh shit, I done lost my whole damn comments. Nor I don't remember. Who are you talking to, Arson? Who are you talking to, Arson? Cause I'm trying to figure out how to make her a damn mod. Shit, I don't remember. Let me see. Nope, that's the mic, that's the camera. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, cancel. Oh, cancel. I don't know, Nora. I'll figure it. Show contents. I know. I wanna. Shit, I can't figure it out. Media. I forgot how I did it. Nope, not that. Mm. Mason, you remember how I made you a mod? Let me see if I take it off Mason, then maybe I know. Let me see. I ain't taking it off Mason. I'm just trying to figure shit. I'm just trying to figure out. Oh fuck, 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 fuck. Oh shit. Oh shit. I done banned the girl. Oh well, shit. I done hit the wrong day. Damn, I ain't mean to do that shit. Bitch, fuck you, Arson. You can leave. And that's for real. I'm older shit. I'm not tech savvy. I really not. Cause I made Mason one. Damn, I done banned the girl. Shit, I done hit the wrong button. But anyway, let me get back to what I was talking about. So you got thousands marching through downtown Minneapolis protesting ICE. And I'm just like, they are getting criminals off the street. They not kidnapping people. These people have an order of deportation. Get the fuck out. But y'all not talking about this $9 billion to $18 billion worth of fraud that the Somalis took of taxpayer money. You're not talking about the corruption in the state of Minnesota. I don't understand. They must have took the vaccine. They must have took the jab. They had to take the jab or something.
It's been on for about 10 minutes. Is that good?
How much gas in it?
Like 90 miles?
Yeah, that's good. And then you're going to have to start it up again. They at the airport in Minnesota protesting. They done broke into the ICE agents' cars, took guns, warrants, information on who they picking up. You ain't never seen. They done went and showed the guy, a ICE agent, where he live at. This is in fucking insane. This is insane. Alright, so we just gonna get into these videos now. Cause I done ran it enough. Cause I mean, this shit just pisses me off. And I think I'm gonna talk about. Okay, here we go. Damn, I gotta use my other phone. Shit. I forgot. Damn. My food about to come here. Let me see. Alright, I got it.
I want to know what happened to Rashida Tlaib, right? You know, the one who was banging all the pots, the Palestinian who's in Congress, who was banging pots all over Washington, talking about free Palestine. Not a word from her. Nothing. But let's talk about her pal, Ilhan Omar, who endorsed the other Omar character, the Somali pirate in Minnesota who's running for mayor.
Right, that part.
So she endorsed him, and he was in favor, or he wasn't behind it, but somehow he was in favor of this organization, Feed Our Children, Feeding the Future, where they were supposed to feed hundreds or thousands of children every
Right,
day.
he did. Thank God he didn't become mayor, but he received donations from that and he supported them.
You want a pop in there?
I got a pop in there.
It should be on the way.
I like this lady.
Ilhan Omar's people in Minnesota. So they brought about 80,000 Somali Muslims in. They grouped them in one spot, and then they used that to elect her to Congress. That's how she got there. Okay.
And now she $30 million richer.
Over
because
90%
she
of
part of
these
that
people
fraud.
have availed
She
themselves of
up
some sort of social
$30 million
service welfare
on a
program.
$174,000
Okay,
salary.
now, the authorities in Minnesota have a huge investigation because these people have come up with all kind of different scams. Scams saying they're going to feed children, scams for housing, scams for fake
Daycare.
marriages, fake divorces, you name it.
They
They
did it.
came here and they started scamming the system like nobody would believe. And these are her people all grouped together
In
in
her
Minnesota.
district. In her district. In her district. Y'all playing too much.
Which is a first of its kind visa fraud operation. Behind me, four of the individuals that work here in the state and in this region to make sure that we're getting dangerous people away from the citizens in this community in this state. And I want to introduce them for you. We have Sam. Sam Westbay is with HSI. He is the acting special agent that's in charge of this office, and he'll make a few opening remarks here in a little bit as well. We also have David Easterwood. David is with ERO. He is the acting field office director, and I'll ask him to give you a quick update on some of the work and operations that they've been doing as well. We have Tanya Price, who's HSI, an assistant special agent in charge that is stationed here and is doing good work for the citizens of Minnesota, and also Toria Rich. She's the ERO deputy field office director that has been here for several years now working to help protect community members. Listen, the work that these individuals have done has been incredible. Under the Trump administration, our president has been focused on protecting American citizens, on making America safe again. And these individuals get up every single day and support their law enforcement
Okay,
officers
let's
that
get
are
to the
out on the
part.
street
Let's get to
since
the part.
2019. Under the leadership of Mayor Fry, under the leadership of Governor Walz, more violent crimes are being perpetuated in these communities because of their refusal to defend American citizens.
Facts.
Regardless, our federal officers, our ICE officers, ERO, HSI, in partnership with our Department of Justice, agencies, and other individuals throughout the federal government, we will continue to do the work to make sure that these criminals are removed from our communities. I want you to look at these posters that we have up here at the front of the room. One of the individuals, his last name is Munoz. He's from Mexico, and he was brought in and arrested for charges of homicide. Another one is Hernandez Rivieras from El Salvador. The charges against him are human slavery and trafficking of individuals in this country. Garcia's in front of us as well. His last name is Garcia Oliver from Mexico. He's been wanted and charged with sexual assault. And then another individual in front of us on these posters in front of us is Gonzalez Rivas. Alfie's from El Salvador and is wanted for assault. These individuals have been arrested because of these individual law enforcement officers in our community and will be brought to justice and deported from our country, never to return. We also had operation that has been working.
But these are the people that you want in your community. You out there protesting.
And the USCIS agency has worked on Operation Twin Shield, which is a first of its kind visa fraud operation that gone out and investigated those who maybe came into this country under wrong paperwork or overstayed and refused to leave, and they utilized fraud to do so. It has been incredible the work that these officers.
But these the people, and you're protesting, and you have these criminals in your community. It's insane to me.
FBI and police.
They found 109 children were found. 200.
In Dallas, Texas. What I just said?
109 children were found. I mean, what is going on here? Look, this is. Do this look like United States? This your Somalis in Minnesota. This is Minnesota. Who done committed all that damn fraud?
So what's next? More investigations, more prosecutions,
Now we
and more
got fake
prevention.
voters.
But it looks like Minnesota taxpayers are going to eventually be out billions of dollars.
America, Minnesota has officially become the fraud capital of the United States. And what I'm about to show you is for years under Tim Walz. But here's what's going to make your blood boil. While federal prosecutors are calling it white-collar crime on steroids, new revelations show voter registration fraud involving 600 fake applications across 13 counties, and Walz is claiming it's just organized crime, that he had nothing to do with it. Meanwhile, legislative audits going back 20 years warned about these exact problems, but Democratic leadership ignored every single red flag.
As usual.
Following the money is a full-time job for federal prosecutor Joe Thompson and his team at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota.
I think we've all come to understand the magnitude of the fraud problem here in Minnesota.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Now, I've been covering this Minnesota fraud.
And what really pisses me off, y'all out there protesting, but y'all not talking about the fraud committed in your community. Not that these Somalians, the head of the org was the white woman, but the rest of y'all was Somalis. But y'all don't talk about that shit. I would be pissed.
Thompson was asked if he stands by that billion-dollar prediction. He said, yeah. I was actually surprised that there was such a reaction to that particular comment. I thought it was so obvious. Think about that for a second. A federal prosecutor thinks it's obvious that Minnesota has lost over $1 billion to fraud, and somehow Tim Walz and state Democrats act like they had no idea what was happening. You stand by that?
Yeah, I was actually surprised that there was such a reaction to that
Oh,
comment.
come on. You weren't really surprised, were you?
I was. I thought that was obvious. I think ultimately we'll have prosecuted $1 billion worth of fraud.
But here's where it gets even worse. Thompson clarified that they'll prosecute over $1 billion worth of fraud. But there's far more than that, he says. We're talking about billion. Billions with a B and an S. This isn't just the feeding our future scandal. This is systematic fraud across
Facts.
multiple state programs, including autism treatment centers, housing programs, and medical assistance. Thompson described it perfectly as
Nick Shirley daycare, transportation, all that. Shit, y'all got to go home. That's what you got to do. Go back to Somalia. Somaliland. Shit.
This right here is Minneapolis. Broken news. Specifically, it's the Somali neighborhood within Minneapolis that has recently become controversial due to two figures. Congresswoman
Ilhan Omar of Minnesota.
Dumbing of the United States has arrived.
and mayoral candidate Omar Fonte.
Where Democratic Socialist State Senator Omar Fonte is now just 5 points behind Jacob Fry.
Minneapolis.
There may be no immigrant community in the nation more tied to its political leaders than the Somalis in Minnesota, so we decided to go past the clickbait and culture war and explore the community with curiosity.
That's what America stands for. Like, everybody's segregated in their own community.
But they're walking around in sandals in the winter and you're just going, oh my God.
What's it really like? Do they love America?
Our children will take a gun to defend national interest of the United States.
Our journey took us to a massive open-air Somali mall, which a cop escorted us out of, to Omar Fonte's campaign HQ, to a studio where we interviewed Somali's parliamentarian who actually lives in Minnesota. Come with us to Minneapolis.
we in Minneapolis, man. Minneapolis, bitch, get a tone.
That was not the greeting we expected when we pulled into Cedar Riverside.
Misconception in my eyes would be that Somali community are a threat. No, before Somali, we're Muslim. And Somali people that are real Muslims that are on their deen and on their way, peaceful. 3 mosques just in walking distance right now as we speak. And it's so beautiful that you can just take your feet and just walk to the mosque. Everything's easy over here.
I asked Salim how he ended up in Minneapolis, and he told us that he was actually born in Kenya, which many Somalis fled to after its government collapsed in 1991.
Obviously, I'm an immigrant, but at the end of the day, this country welcomed me. For my family to thrive in this country, I'm glad and I'm thankful.
But Salim then fell into hot water in South Dakota, where he was charged for murder.
To this day, if you Google my name, Sioux Falls, you're going to see murder. It's called defamation of character for real. I missed the birth of my niece.
Something you didn't do.
Something I didn't even do.
I'm shaking my head. But look, they don't want to be called black. They don't want to be called African. They want to be associated with the Arabs, and the Arabs don't even claim them.
I feel like I got a little story to tell too. My name's Salim Muhammad, man, and I ain't not a murderer.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm glad at least you're out now, and hopefully you get justice.
Justice been served, but to who?
We left Salim and turned the corner where we saw the fire he referenced, and also tried to interview some locals. We're trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, we have a new fire.
Do you know what happened? Well, do you know what happened here? What surprised us was how many Somalis we met who moved to Minneapolis from other states. There's really been a second migration to Minneapolis for Somalis. First to America, and then concentrating there. One of the Somalis who's done just that is Omar Fateh, who was born in D.C.
Yo, Abdulkadir Yassin, Team Kega, we need volunteers.
Today, nearly 100,000 Somalis live in Minnesota, and the majority of them are in the Twin Cities.
I want to speak directly to the Somali community. Minneapolis is your city.
We are in Cedar Riverside, which is the Somali capital, not just of Minneapolis, but of the U.S. And right behind us are some of their apartment buildings. This is the sort of center of where the Somalis live. Now, 50% of the people in this neighborhood speak Somali, and we're talking to some of the residents. We then met the facilities manager of these towers, who's managed them for nearly 50 years.
But I've worked in it for 46 years.
How has it changed?
Just different immigrants.
So a lot of Somalis live here?
Yes. In fact, I think it's one of the largest populations in the cities. Yes, I think they do kind of stick to themselves, but I have a bunch of them that work under me, and they're pretty social. Some of the first ones came here, and I know it's a money issue, but they're walking around in sandals in winter, and you're just going, oh my God. But they came here. Once they got established here, then they follow each other. So they want to be with people that speak the same language, and it has changed a lot. There's several bars that used to have live music.
We're not going to watch no more of that. Oh, shit. But the Twin Cities is their capital. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. Because I'm not talking about that. Hold on. Let me see what is this.
24th person to be charged in the $300 million Feeding Our Future meal fraud case, Ahmed Naji Sheikh, is the brother of one of the most notorious defendants.
America, the largest COVID fraud scheme in U.S. history, got even bigger. A Kenyan national who helped his brother launder millions of stolen tax dollars overseas while American children went hungry. Ahmed Nahar Sheikh is accused of helping his brother hide $40 million in fraud proceeds by purchasing real estate in Kenya and operating sham corporations to conceal the money trail. But here's the most infuriating part. While these criminals were buying luxury apartments in Nairobi, the Biden administration was letting this massive fraud continue for nearly 2 years without stopping it.
Now, the FBI just went to Kenya to investigate the fraud there. The Kenyan government is working with the FBI as we speak. Now, that's just one scam they got.
And it's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's start with this disgusting display by lefty losers at what should have been a somber moment as Vice President J.D. Vance and Usha Vance attended the Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis in remembrance of the victims of last week's shooting. But idiot lefties had to hijack the moment. Do better! Vance later. But first, let's check in with
And
Joy
JD Vance
Louise,
is
who's
there
gone from
now.
taunting people in tears to being in tears.
Wipe your own tears, and for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry. That, what I was
Let me
doing.
get past that. No, we're not talking about that.
Thinking are not substitutes for facts. And that costs American citizens real representation.
Way fewer House seats than we should have. One, if the Democrats hadn't sort of post our quote-unquote.
He really got this debate up and running, and it's a vital.
Because some states, they pioneered
This
a
is
new technology
paralegal.
called let people come into our stores, walk out with whatever they want, and we won't prosecute them. Yes, Minnesota has legalized crime.
Earlier this week, Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said her office would soon stop prosecuting felony crimes stemming from low-level traffic stops. Police chiefs across Hennepin County are calling out what they describe as a harmful announcement.
This new directive is deeply troubling.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out.
This is paralegal, and I like his channel.
844.
Positive change, and their officers have been able to concentrate on traffic stops that may threaten safety, like speeding tickets. Chris?
So, Sammy, does this change the way that law enforcement can pull people over?
Now, the association today, who had that press conference, says nothing's going to change for them. They're still going to do the same work they've been doing, and the law doesn't change. It's just how the attorneys are going to prosecute these felony cases that come from these low-level traffic stops.
Okay. So as you can see there, I'm going to explain it to you even though they did a good job on that news piece. Previously, I should say, if a police officer saw you had your tail light was out or something, they could pull you over. If they felt that you were suspicious for any reason, what they could do is conduct a search, okay? There are steps they had to follow, following the Fourth Amendment protocols. No unreasonable search or seizure, but there were ways they could try to get themselves into a search of your car if they felt you were suspicious or that something was off, okay? So what kind of things might they uncover? Drugs, guns, whatever, contraband. You might have a warrant, whatever the case may be. Now, Hennepin County in Minnesota, which is probably the most important county, okay, which is the core of the Twin Cities metro area. It includes the largest city in Minnesota, Minneapolis. They just decided that if police officer pulls over your car for a minor traffic infraction, and then they were to search your car and find something that constitutes a felony, generally speaking, the prosecutor's office is not going to prosecute that felony that stemmed from a minor traffic stop. So you have one of those little, the little Christmas tree things that is supposed to smell good that you hang from your rear view mirror, Those things are probably illegal in your area. But let's just say you're in Minnesota, you're in Hennepin County, cop sees you with one of those. They're like, hey, you're not supposed to have that. They pull you over. When they come up to your window, they're like, this person's suspicious. And they get themselves by slick talking, they get themselves into a search of your vehicle. And inside your vehicle, they find something that you're not supposed to have that constitutes a felony. Let's say a nice brick of the white stuff. Now, the prosecutor is gonna say, yes, that person did have a brick of the nice white stuff, the good stuff. And yes, that is
I'm coming back, y'all.
But we're not gonna prosecute that because you found that as a result of stopping somebody with one of their Christmas trees. So, y'all, you can already imagine the reason why the Hennepin County DA is taking this step. It has to do with protecting groups of people who are historically disadvantaged and who maybe have their cars stopped at a higher rate than other cars and maybe have their crimes uncovered at a higher rate than other groups. So the solution is, let's cover our eyes up and let's act like we didn't even see the crime.
Exactly.
So the real
so you can steal and do whatever the hell you want to do in Minnesota.
Less often and thereby signal to all the criminals, yo, crime is open season. It's open season for crime, baby, just like they did with the shoplifting thing. Okay, so y'all, this comes at a perfect time in Minnesota when there are mass shootings, when there are every other week there's a major fraud scandal that's uncovered, and now they're signaling to the criminals, hey, we're figuring out ways to let you get away with it. Y'all, take a look at this crazy fraud scheme that they just uncovered. I don't know how much. Minnesota has to be like the fraud capital of the world at this point, y'all. Take a look at this.
The money was just simply stolen. Tonight, 8 people are facing federal charges in the massive housing stabilization program fraud scheme. And prosecutors say they expect to charge even more people. And prosecutors say the scheme cost taxpayers more than $300 million. That makes it bigger than the Feeding Our Future fraud case. Fox 9's Mike Manzoni has followed this story for months now. And Mike, tonight, we're learning that it took the state years to spot the fraud.
Randy, the Minnesota Department of
And I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck y'all protesting.
Oh, you got your Ford car ready?
Mm-hmm. They got sham marriages. Them Somalis doing everything.
We will now start the press conference for Operation Twin Shield. I'll turn it over to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Director Joseph Edlow.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Joseph Edlow. I'm the Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. I'm incredibly pleased to be here today to announce the successful conclusion to Operation Twin Shield, an enforcement effort of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services with absolutely invaluable support from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the FBI, and DEA. I especially want to thank St. Paul Field Office Director Samuel Olson from ICE for being here, as well as Abel Vizio from the FBI for joining us up here today. I also want to thank Jeff Brecht and Mike Kennard from FDNS, as well as Michael Borgen from USCIS.
You sent the cash out?
And also want to thank Bill McGinn, our FDNS chief in Kansas City, who was on the ground during the entirety of the operation. Since September 19th, officers from our Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, working in teams, have conducted over 1,000 site visits across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of this operation. What they found should shock all of America. Focusing on a list of over 1,000 target cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system,
businesses that can't even be found,
and many other discrepancies.
Businesses that can't be found.
Officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety and national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases interviewed. We found troubling patterns with the Uniting for Ukraine program that should have raised serious concerns under other administrations, such as an individual filing to sponsor more than 100 aliens, and organizations sponsoring hundreds. We are continuing to investigate these cases. Some of the other troubling cases that our officers found. In one case, officers identified an alien who had overstayed his visa waiver, who was the son of a known or suspected terrorist on the no-fly list. He had previously been found to have engaged in marriage fraud, which resulted in the denial of several immigration benefit requests. He was arrested and is now presently being returned to his country of origin. In another, an individual admitted to obtaining a fake death certificate in Kenya for just $100 to prove he was no longer married. In reality, his wife is alive, living here in Minneapolis, and is the mother of 5 of his children. And incidentally, he has another wife living in Sweden with whom he has an additional 3 children. In another case, an alien entered the United States without inspection in 2023, was released by Border Patrol. The alien married a U.S. citizen while in removal proceedings and was interviewed at the Minneapolis-St. Paul USCIS field office just last week, where both he and his American spouse, stated under oath that their marriage was legitimate. The USCIS officers conducting the interview were suspicious.
The site visits were authorized the same day. The American spouse ultimately that afternoon admitted the marriage was fraudulent and entered into solely for immigration purposes and withdrew her petition for that alien. This type of same-day action for interview, from interview to site visit, has really never happened before. And I am incredibly impressed and thankful for the diligent work of the agents who made that happen for the first time. Note, in one case, an alien engaged in marriage fraud by taking advantage of an elderly U.S. citizen spouse, including threats and severe neglect. The American spouse was able to divorce the alien with the help of her family and caregivers, but the family lives in fear of retaliation from the alien over the failed marriage fraud scam. These are not victimless crimes. Every case of fraud we uncovered damage.
But y'all out there protesting and committing all this crime. Y'all need to get the hell up out of here. Get the hell out. Now, pro-Palestinian Islamists just tried to lynch an old man in Minnesota. But this is who y'all protecting.
He not going nowhere now. Hold up, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. He not going nowhere now. He not going nowhere now. Hey, watch out! Motherfucker just ran. He not going nowhere now. He not going nowhere now.
How much is George Soros paying y'all? That's what I want to know. He got to be paying y'all a whole lot of money. That's an old man. You need your ass kicked for that. And then Tim Walz, again, the man who killed Melissa Hartman, who was a state senator, and her husband said Walz told him to do that.
It is hard to imagine someone would take advantage of the circumstances, but the home where Melissa Hortman was murdered is also now the scene of a break-in.
Police say overnight someone forced their way into the Brooklyn Park home of Melissa and Mark Hortman. A shattered window now marks another crime in this community. Esme Murphy spoke with neighbors asking how someone could possibly do this.
The crime scene tape is still up from Saturday morning's murders. Now police are investigating another crime here. A break-in through a back window. The window broken, the police plywood pulled off.
Whoever it was that broke in has no respect for
the dead.
Deceased couple that lived here.
Longtime neighbor Jeff Olenek is beside himself.
It's a horrible, horrible deal that people would come now and desecrate their memory by breaking into the house.
Other neighbors just can't believe it.
It's horrible. I think it's really horrible. It's hard to put words to it.
Christine Cole Finch says she and her dog Libby would join Hortman and her dog Gilbert on neighborhood walks. Gilbert was also shot in the attack and had to be put down by the Hortman's children.
Even days later, we're still struggling with it.
Some say the break-in feels as if the Hortmans are being attacked again.
Very disturbing to know that someone would want to break into a house after a tragedy.
Probably. I mean, y'all got all this shit going on. Now, this is the assassin on the Hortmans.
The latest in Minnesota is chilling. A man allegedly stalked 4 lawmakers in a police disguise before gunning down 2 and injuring 2 others. Vance Leroy Bolter was captured after 40 hours, and now he faces federal murder, stalking, and firearms charges and could possibly even face the death penalty. The latest twist in this story is an international mystery in our own backyard. A phone that was tied to the accused assassin's home pinged off in multiple places like Dubai, Nepal, India, Turkey, and more over the last 3 years. For more, let's bring in Blaze News investigative reporter Joe Hanneman, who's been writing about this for theblaze.com. So, Joe, thanks for joining us tonight. So, how do we get all of this international travel for a narrative that did seem so locally contained?
Well, it raises a lot of interesting questions. We're assuming, of course, this is probably his phone, considering how they used the geofencing to identify it. But, we do know that his work history did include some travel, but, and he did write about traveling to some places, but certainly not all of them that were on this list. And it raises a lot of questions as to, just exactly what those trips were for and what he was doing, if it was work-related, personal. We just don't know yet.
If you eat butter daily, this is what happens to your eyes. Take a look at these 2 retina scans. They both look sharp.
So, Joe, this is...
Well, he's got 5 children. He's married. He had roughly 30-year career in the food industry, working for companies like Golden Plump Chicken, and that his food industry experience led him to want to open up some kind of a venture in the Democratic Republic of Congo to help that country grow more of its own food. So we know he traveled back and forth to Congo as a result of that.
I want to get to the part that he says Tim Watts
the past couple of years
paid him.
He quit his
being. He's doing a lot of different things at a fairly decent level. So, what are some speculation that's going on about town about who this person was?
Well, clearly he wanted to cause. He sent a text and said, "Dad went to war last night." So he used the term war. So clearly he was engaging in warfare. He visited 4 homes that night. We don't know if he was hoping to get away and tried to do this on another day. But something in him, I won't say snap because we simply don't know, but something caused him to want to, concoct this entire scenario. And that's what's got everyone scratching their heads. His background is unusual. It's a lot of different things, but nothing that would explain this. And
God damn it.